Now, please listen very carefully. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Hello, friend. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing tonight? We got the Advent calendar appropriately set. And, yep, we are getting there. We are getting there. Beginning to look a lot like Christmas. How is everyone doing this evening? Great to see so many folks already assembled. I see we've got Pondering with Pepe's Pipes, Cypress Piper, Big Dave, and Steve. Good to see all you guys. There's Bona Piper, Gary Edminster, James Steidle, Flint Hill Breyer, the Urban Hermit. How you doing, Everett? Great to see you. Big Dave, Richie B. Urban Hermit's got some Byzantium in a K-Woody 998. 99B. I can put on my glasses, Everett. 99B. Very nice. There's Richie B. YouTube is being goofy? Uh-oh. Well, YouTube will do that sometimes. There's Michael Case with an egg. Or is it eggnog? Sitting here with an egg now? You must have been eggnog. Or maybe you just like to have eggs at the Christmas season, Michael. Good to see you, buddy. Signal Man Tony from Rhode Island. Hello there. Big Dave says, Altoona, the thing that happened in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And Gary Edmondson has got vanilla custard in his Peterson house pipe with black coffee. Piper on the 45, good to see you. Speaking of Michael Case, I got something fun in the mail today from my buddy. You're a good friend, Michael. I really appreciate this. A copy of Outdoor Life. Look at that, 25 cents. From July of 1954, I believe it was. Flashes again. 1951, I apologize. This is wonderful. It is just chock full of stuff. I mean, what I love the most about it are the ads. You know, it's got all these really cool ads in it. But it's got some neat stories. Yeah, great magazine, and to see it from 1951, I'm really looking forward to reading this. So thank you, Michael. Made my day. Ah. Ronnie Ewing. Ronnie is here, and there's Jeffrey Feinberg. Chris Weber. Hello there, Chris. You missed the update, today's update. So I should put him back here. Will that be visible? Yeah, there we go. Hey, that works. Yes, everyone had better be good this year indeed there, Urban Hermit. Lost in the 50s. Hello. Watch, yeah. Sutliff, we've been talking about that for a while now. Yeah. Smoking Sad, good to see you, buddy. Ron Hardcrackers, there's Poem, Hubba Bubba. Flint Hill Briar, Paul Rapp. Chris Weber's got to rewind. Okay. There's Ahmed Salman and Tamper Jim. Season's greetings. Weybridge is wonderful stuff, Jim. Wonderful stuff, yes. I'm sorry you guys are mourning Sutliff. I don't think I smoke anything from Sutliff. Roger Jim, I think those drones do have some connection to Haunted Bookshop, or else Santa has hired them. That's a possibility. Mushroom Leg, hello. Santa will be here next week, Mushroom Leg. Next week is when Santa is coming to the live stream. Donnie T asking if anybody knows why Warhorse Bar and some other blends were deleted from smoking pipes completely. No idea, Donnie. I did not know about that. Mixture 79 is from Sutliff. Yeah, I probably have enough Mixture 79 to last me the rest of my life, Everett. But that is sad. That will be missed for sure. Less Sutliff, more McBaron? Well, that's not a good thing, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm giving my own opinion. Paul Johnson has his Friday Meerschaum with Luxury Bullseye Flake. 2 Luxury Bullseye Flake. Eric the Blue Collar Pipe Smoker says they're made by Sutliff. Who are they? Oh, the drones are made by Sutliff, Eric? Hateful Eight is also not a Christmas movie. Okay, Cypress Piper. I don't know that one. No, Bengal Slices is not made by Sutliff. Black. I mean, these are the. No, I don't think that's right. Oh well, I've got enough Bengal Slices to last me a lifetime too. But nevertheless, it's sad, very sad. Black Santa's. We got a recommendation for Black Santa from home as a Christmas movie. I agree, Big Dave. Anytime there are less choices, that is a bad thing. Yeah, that was my understanding as well, Michael, that it was mostly going to affect the bulk blends. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it shakes out. When these things happen, there's always rumors, and sometimes they wind up being true, and sometimes they don't. I think we still will be there, Smoking said. I think we still will be spoiled, even if that goes down. Paul Rapp is smoking Hood Canal and a Peterson straight brandy. Nice. Yeah, it's a shame that the way they slice those Bengals, Richie. It's a horrible thing to see. But delicious blend. Yeah, I've had multiple people send me that video, and it contradicts everything else I've heard. And I'm not saying he's wrong, But, you know, like I said, these rumors go round, and one person swears they know what's happening, and another person swears they know what's happening. You're going to hear the furnace a lot tonight because it's cold. Jeffrey wants to know how many pounds of tobacco I have in total. I don't know, Jeffrey. It's somewhere north of 50, but I honestly don't know the number. Probably not much more than that. Patrick Grant. I don't think I said hello to you yet. And Jeffrey Feinberg. I think that's the first I saw you as well. Once we get this far in, it's hard for me to remember. George Tiedemann. Captain Black, Royal and a Bing's favorite. There you go. Yeah, Jeffrey, but that's taken me a very long time to acquire. Yeah, guys like Russ aren't going to say anything right now because I don't think they know what's happening yet. I mean, was there ever even a release from Sutliff saying that this was happening, or from STG, or is this all just rumor? Welsh Piper, very good morning to you. And there's Yornik. Hello. Well, I should probably get my drink going here. I stopped at the beer distributor on my way home tonight because I am officially on vacation. Yep, today was my last, well, I got a couple meetings I got to call into next week, but it's minimal, and I'm basically off until January 6th. Although my wife doesn't think I'm off. She thinks that just means I can start really working now. Anyway, tonight we are going to have Cape May Devil's Reach. I've had this before. It's a Belgian style ale. It's actually an imperial ale. Let's see what it claims to be here. A Belgian beast, fruity and light. The complexity and character of Devil's Reach comes from robust Belgian yeast, deceptively simple. Caution is demanded because you know it. Devil's Reach has swallowed you whole. Wow. Apparently it's best paired with cartoon chicken legs, candy, and cheese. Okay. Doug Owen. Yeah, Doug, we've been talking about the rumors. I've decided I'm not going to believe anything till it happens. Uh-oh. Oh, I went a little too fast. Oh, this is a close one. Which one may not survive? Ah, can I do it? Yeah, I agree, Ron. I don't think STG even knows yet. They're just sorting this. He does have some needful things, Mushroom Mike. If STG buys Ladalsi and gets rid of Haunted Bookshop, it's very easy, Everett. All we have to do is drive down to, are they in North Carolina? Wherever they are, and we'll just kidnap Jeremy Reeves and keep him in a room and feed him tobacco, and he'll make us Haunted Bookshop. It'll be simple. Just kidding, Jeremy. Mushroom Leg, I always said, because I got into management and I've done a lot of, like, I've worked for companies that were, I was hired to change things, and it's a tough process to do that. And then you work for a company for a while and they bring in somebody new and they start changing things. And I always thought that someday I'm going to write a book on how to manage change, and I'm going to title it "Don't Pee on My Fire Hydrant," because it seems like that's what they do. They come in and they have to mark territory by making changes without understanding what is working and what is not working. And it's unfortunate, but I took the approach of taking about a year to understand everything before I made any major changes. And I got dinged for that because they don't want that. They want things to improve immediately. But you can't improve things if you don't know what's working and what's not working. So, such is life. Schlimmenbesserung? I like that. I like that, Yernik. Those Germans always make up the best word, best compound nouns. Jeffrey Payne, can I get some advice? My husband's dad wants to see him, but he won't talk to his dad. Um, hmm. Jeffrey, I don't mean to be insensitive, but I don't think this is the group you want to get that kind of advice from. But if anybody wants to offer advice, I mean, yeah, we'd have to know why he doesn't want to talk to him, and. I think you're right, Luxter. I think Who Peed on My Fire Hydrant would outsell Who Moved My Cheese. Jeffrey, if you want to send an email, yeah, I'd be happy to chat with you privately. And I sure hope you get some resolution there. Exactly, Michael. Exactly. Good suggestion, Lord Hogarth. Writing a letter. I mean, that's a good exercise, even just to, Jeffrey. Even if he's never going to send the letter, it at least lets him work through what he's thinking, and that might be a really, really good exercise. Chad Elliott, good evening. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I discounted your advice too early. We got some good advice there. I see, Jeffrey. Yeah, I think I think Lord Hogarth's suggestion is probably the best you're going to get tonight. But if you'd like to talk offline, Jeffrey, I'd rather you get in touch. And my email address is on the About tab in the channel, but it's just my channel name at gmail.com. Okay, Chris got his first new 7LE 320 KS, and he wonders what the best blends to smoke in it might be. Boy, Chris, that's going to depend on you. If neither one of those have been great, it might just be that the pipe needs some serious breaking in, which wouldn't surprise me with the 7LE. Yeah, Paragon, we've had the whole whistleblower thing pop up like 5 or 6 times now, and nothing's really been announced. We're just not going to dive into rumors. Doug, that's excellent advice. Family's always more important to politics, more important than politics. And that's something that sadly has been lost by a lot of people these days. The Smooth Piper, how's it going, Peter? Couch posting from his new hippie computer that's all locked down and you can't even change the hard drive, and it'll be obsolete in about 14 minutes. The Smooth Piper's got some Haunted Bookshop in his Friday 7LE. By the way, did I say I'm smoking Haunted Bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday 7LE? I got so carried away with the new Advent calendar, which is there. I forgot my normal hello. Mushroom Legs got some HU Makoa. I've had that. It is a nice burly blend. Yeah, Chris, sometimes the breaking in period, it can be like that. It just doesn't taste right. You're getting some briar burning, and it just takes a while for the pipe to season. But you know, I'd give it at least 10 bowls with one blend before I decided. Jeffrey, that's the beauty of smoking pipes. It kind of forces you to listen because you have to shut up to smoke them. And sometimes listening is the best thing you can do in a relationship. $48 million US from McBaron and Sutliff. You know, that sounds like a lot of money, Christian, but in corporate terms, that's really not that much. McBaron's going to switch to making whistles. That makes sense, Yornik, for some reason. Tom puts pipe tobacco in his pillowcase. That's sweet, Mom. Are you hoping the tobacco fairy will come and leave you a tin? It'd be great if it worked that way. Okay, Urban Hermit. Good to see you, Everett. Have a great night. James Steidle, 50-50 mix of Cornell and Deal Smooth English and Lane BCA and Missouri Meerschaum Ozark Mountain Hardwood. Nice stuff. Chris, that's a beautiful thing about refinished estates. They've already gone through that period. You know, most long-term pipe smokers will tell you that it takes about 70 to 100 bowls before a pipe actually settles in. I know that's hard to believe, but I've experienced it myself. There's something magical that happens to briar.
I didn't understand that.
I wasn't talking to you. My goodness. There's something magical that happens to briar after 70 to 100 bowls. So those estate pipes have been through that process, and they'll smoke better than any new pipe will. Yes, you could take the urban hermit approach and smoke it into submission. I've heard his pipes scream. Phil Rivera, hello. How's it going, buddy? Ah, Jeffrey Payne going to Ireland. Any advice on tobacco to buy? I am not up on that at all, but in Ireland, do they have access to things like Condor? I don't know what tobaccos that are normally available in England are available in Ireland and so on. Ochoita, yes, Oriental silk's a very nice tobacco. Good advice, Ron. Carter Hall or Prince Albert are great break-in tobaccos. I used to always use Carter Hall, but then I just started using Haunted Bookshop because that's what I'm smoking anyway, and it works. Uh, I haven't seen any drones over my house couch, so you might have to redirect them. But um, when we went to the Christmas tree lighting last week, I didn't mention this, but there was a large drone up above, and my wife and I assumed it was like some news thing, or maybe the borough was flying a drone, but it was a really big one. Now that I think of it, but I don't know. I find that whole thing kind of odd, and I haven't really seen a lot of the news on it, but drones, there aren't really any long distance drones, are there? I mean, you got to be within about a quarter mile to fly them. McBaron is available in supermarkets, Doug? I did not know that. Condor no longer in production. Okay, well that's not gonna help with the Ireland trip. Pipe time just lit some 2014 Christmas cheer and a James Upshaw Rhodesian. Very nice. Bet that's a beautiful pipe. Oh, that's a great book, Jim. Back from the Ashes. It was written by, I can't remember his name, but the inventor of the Falcon's daughter, and she had all the patent literature and all the interoffice correspondences and stuff. It's a really fascinating read. If you like Falcon pipes, it's definitely worth reading that book. Okay, Doug, I don't know what that means. Under my desk. You're going to have to explain yourself, Doug. I don't know what you're asking me. Oh, that is the one. Okay, Couch. So yeah, I saw it. I would call Condor a Lakeland-esque blend. I did have some earlier this year, I think it was, or maybe it was late last year, courtesy of Phil. Very nice. I mean, I'm not a Lakeland guy, but I enjoyed it. Oh, they're seeing them off Oregon's coast. My goodness. UFOs off Oregon's coast. Huh. There is a Google Street View. It's Souderton, not Souderland. I'm sure there's a Google Street View, Michael. Oh, that doesn't sound like a drone, Phil. Flying in corkscrew maneuvers at hypersonic speeds from 14 to 50,000 feet. My goodness. Oh, the voice I was speaking to. No, that was my cell phone, Doug. It wasn't a babe. Creator, I'm sorry. I thought it was Doug that asked the question. It was my cell phone. It's a Samsung phone, and sometimes if I say something that sounds like, well, if I say it, it's going to do it again. But the name is Bixby, so if you say hi, it reacts like that. Oh, really, Brian? I did not understand that. So large drones can go many miles. Wow. QWERTY2 asking, do I like Nicotina rustica? Well, I like the rustica blend, which has a fair amount of that in it, but I have not had pure rustica. I know that would be quite high in nicotine from what I understand. Yes, Richie, hard to believe it's been 5 years. Oh, one crashed in New Jersey? Well, at least we got one, I guess. Yornik is having Temple Bar in a mirror while his perfect lady is having visions of Calafias, which I think she smokes just to make me pronounce it. I don't blame the drones, Couch. If I was a drone, I would be afraid of Ilva. He was a great guy, Jeffrey, absolutely. You call it Makorka. Interesting, Corti. What country are you in, if I can ask? She ate the cat's food, Couch? That's terrible. I don't think the aliens will take her, though. Yeah, Doug, that was my phone. My phone thought I was talking to it, but I wasn't. Michael, you might be right. I mean, I thought there was a street view, but you can certainly do the aerial view. Wow, Lord Hogarth, that is something. After 20 years, you just took up the pipe that week. Wow. James Steidle ordered a Peterson and is getting a free tin of 2024 Winter Reserve. Should he smoke it now or save it for next year? I don't know anything about that blend, James, so hopefully someone else will chime in. So Richie B says that his friend Joseph has had pure rustica. Paragon Piper says it's interesting. The leaf smells sweet, but the smoke is quite bitter. I get an unusual floral note out of rustica. Floral isn't really the right word for it, but it's kind of floral, kind of floral sweet. Ah, so Jeffrey was inspired by old pipe bombs. Okay. Belarus. Very nice, QWERTY. Well, it's good to have you with us. That'll happen, Lord Hogarth. David Bookshop. Great to see you, buddy. Rossi 641 Bluegrass. Nice. Ah, so in Belarus they have Rustica in two varieties, a regular dark and a yellow, and the yellow is not as intensive in taste. Ronnie, that is an excellent question for next week. Sorry, he's going to be on next week. I agree with you on that, Phil. They have to be. I mean, we heard from Brian that the large ones can have a range of several miles, but still, I don't think that that's going to be from very far away. You know, you're going to have a base nearby within a few miles, right? Herbal. That's the word I was looking for, Richie. Yes, not floral, but herbal. Oh, Jeffrey, yes, surgery. Many of us have felt that feeling you're feeling right now, Jeffrey. It'll be okay, buddy. I don't know, creator, about Carolina Christmas and Pringle Flake, but I have to admit I was intrigued by the ad that came out for Carolina Christmas, and I almost pulled the trigger on that, but then I decided to keep to my guns about not buying limited releases. Oh, Mushroom Leg, I did not know that. Yes, if Ed shows up, we will embarrass him. It's his birthday. We will all sing happy birthday. Aren't Russian cigarettes made with Rustica? No idea, Paragon. QWERTY, I believe that's what McBaron does with Rustica. I believe it is somewhere in the 15% range. But it's quite potent in terms of flavor. I worked it out once, and the nicotine content is actually not, it's not ridiculously higher. I mean, if you just go with average nicotine values for the different components, it's not ridiculously higher than other blends, although people seem to think it's much stronger. But I don't know, because I'm not sensitive to nicotine. I'm an oddball. And I finished my Haunted Bookshop. So I was going to, what did I do with those other balloons? You know what? I think I put them away. I don't know what I did with my other Christmas blends, so I'm probably gonna go with another bowl of plum cake tonight. But we'll give it a minute or two. All Sutliff blends will become limited releases soon. Yeah. Ron thinks the drones are the military training drone pilots. Could be. Chad Elliott. Yeah, that happens to me sometimes. You smoke something and you think it's great and you go buy more, and then, yeah. I know, I have quite a few tins of stuff in my cellar that fall into that category. Good one, Lukester. What is the name of that eBay like tobacco site that lets you sell your tobacco? I'm asking for Chad, who's got some rustic he doesn't know what to do with. Or somebody here might be interested in a trade, Chad. That's always a possibility. What is that called? They're always at the Columbus Pipe Show. They always have a table there. In fact, I think they sponsored the pipe show. What is the name of that company? Somebody will remember. Tin Bids. Thank you, Phil. Yes. Check out Tin Bids. That might give you an ability. Several people are saying Tin Bids now. Thank you. I'm old and slow. And Paragon Piper's offering to trade for it, so if you want to work something out there. Mushroom Lake says Tin Bids is too easy and sleazy. Not sure I know. I've never interacted with the Mushroom Lake other than I've seen them at the Columbus show and they've seemed nice enough, but I've never bought anything from them. And they do sponsor the show, so that's nice. Well, Chad, you could get in touch with Paragon Piper or look into Tin Beds. That's another possibility. More like bin tids. So officially on vacation, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I want to be spending some time down here. I've been making a lot of progress lately. Got a lot of stuff cleared out and organized, and slowly getting there. I'm hoping to get to the point where I can actually walk around enough to do a shop tour at some point early next year. Yes, Dude Rustica will certainly take it off your hands. Although I don't see him much on Instagram, although I haven't been on Instagram much myself, so. The beer, Jeffrey, is Cape May Devil's Reach. Something funny about this. So I stopped at the beer distributor tonight on my way home. And I also stopped at the little smoke shop. It's actually, they mostly sell vaping stuff and all that, but they have a fairly good cigar humidor. The place I used to go to when I did my Wednesday roadway rambles, and I picked up a Drew Estates Undercrown and had that on the way home. But I also got a 6-pack of the Cape May Devil's Reach, and I got my favorite holiday beer, a 6-pack of Sweet Baby Jesus. And I was putting them in the car, and I thought, you know, there's an interesting dichotomy here. One is a devil, and the other is Jesus. I just wonder if I was subconsciously trying to work something out there. So Couch is really liking the Makua. Thinks it's a perfect holiday blend. Yeah, I remember it being very good in terms of the tobaccos, but the topping bothered me. Take up a new hobby like drone flying. Yeah, not having a plan is nice, James. Um, it is Cape May, New Jersey, creator. Yes. It definitely should be a good game, Luxter. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Some would say it's way better than Haunted Bookshop. Yeah, well, Couch. Some would say it's a good idea to have a jet black MacBooks. You know, what are you gonna do? Paul, it's a pretty long list. Yeah, and that's the problem. Like she wants to go some places, and the problem is when she wants to go someplace, that's a day. You know, that's a whole day wiped out, and that's fine. You know, I want to make her happy too, and I want to do things with her. But I'd like to, I'd like to know right now what days that's going to be, so I can plan around it. And she doesn't work that way. She works by, 11 o'clock the night before saying, let's do this, or sometimes like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on that day. Armchair Piper, happy birthday to you, Ed. So good to see you, buddy. Yeah, Michael, I've heard them called that as well. I don't really know what it means, so I just call them smoke shops. Given to me in a dream, probably, Phil. Probably. You made beer with homegrown tobacco in it, Jeffrey? That's interesting. Everyone is entitled to an opinion, Richie, even if it's wrong. It will be cold in Pennsylvania that day, creator. And it should be a good game. I mean, the Eagles are clearly going to win, but it'll be a good game. One of the things on my personal to-do list, as soon as the wife settles on her plans, is I'm going to make plans to go visit the birthday boy. I'm really looking forward to that, Ed. Extend vacation by 6 months. Oh my goodness. If only. Ronnie Ewing, preaching this Sunday inspired by joy to the world. Does anyone have a favorite hymn? I've always been partial this time of year to the O antiphons. So the most well-known one is O Come Emmanuel. Couch, I think it's a possibility. I mean, they are playing well, but the thing about football is you just have to lose one game, right? And that's one of the things I think makes it so exciting. I think we can all agree that what's most important is that the Chiefs don't make it to the Super Bowl. I know I just made somebody mad. Fantastic, Ed. And I'm going to bring my pipes this time. Oh, Michael, I'm a stick in the mud. I'm 100% a stick in the mud. We did this thing this week. My department at work had a holiday lunch, and they wanted everybody to make a slide about them. And they said try to put like 3 fun facts on it. Like what? What am I? So I spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to do this, and yeah, I took some pictures of like my tool collection and things like that. I took some pictures of things I made, and I'm like, what? Oh, some flies, fly fishing, things like that. I'm like, what am I getting? Three fun facts. And I thought and I thought and I thought, and I came up with two, one of which wasn't fun, but it was a fact. And my third fun fact was I spent an inordinate amount of time trying to think of a third fun fact. So that's how much of a stick in the mud I am. Oh, Key of David, Clavix Davidica. There's O Key of David or Root of Jesse. Oh, I can't remember them all, but they're all very beautiful. I think he was going for Christian hymn, Jornik, but that's a good one. Oh, Donnie, that's a bad time to start a giant. A giant. That's a bad time to start a diet. It's also a bad time to start a giant if anyone's interested. Oh, couch, that would be a big problem. The refs get a ring if Kansas City wins. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Chad. I think Paragon Piper was the guy that said he'd be interested in a trade for the Rustica. Anybody else wanna jump in on that for Chad? No, I didn't take pictures of that kind of flies, Richie. That would be weird. Yes, less than a week, Michael. Armchair Piper said that something's cheating, but I don't remember what. I don't know what I did that was cheating. Oh, the third fun fact. I couldn't think of anything else. Doug, I agree with you on that about the Chiefs and the Braves. And by the way, I saw a story yesterday that apparently the Redskins are making moves toward becoming the Redskins again, which was a huge mistake because, I mean, they were actually named in honor of I believe it was a Blackfoot Indian who was a football player. And, so the whole thing was about honoring the American Indians, and they went and stripped that away. So apparently the Indian groups are actually angry about it. They want it back. Kermit the Frog. Oh, that's a good one, Couch. I don't know, Chad and Paragon. I mean, if you guys both want to send me an email, I'll forward one to the other. You can email me at canerodpiper@gmail. This way, nobody has to put their email in the chat. Lost in the 50s, I think the Lions are hugely underestimated. I don't know why they're not getting more press. They're having an amazing season. Okay, great. As soon as I hear from both of you guys, I'll forward your email addresses respectively. Chris Cote, or Cote, I can never remember. Good evening to you, sir. I agree, Flint Hill. Nobody's going to name their team after something they want to degrade and pull down. I mean, that's silly. Ah. All right, I better start another pipe here before we run out of evening. So I'm going to load up with plum cake, and I've got my Tim West. I don't know what this is. It's got the oval thing here. It's a Lumberman Canadian something. What do you call the? Uh, Somebody will tell me what it is. It's a great pipe. Oh, I know, Doug. I know, but I just think it's great that so quickly things are starting to turn. We've had enough. Finally. I will try to do some in-depth impressions of the um, plum cake this Sunday. But I will tell you that I've smoked it not every day this week, but most days. And as I get deeper into the tin, it's getting even better. So I think the surface probably lost some of that topping. Uh, Good stuff, though. Lost in the 50s. I cannot tell you why Santa is so jolly, but if you tune in next week, we're going to have Santa himself on here answering questions so you can ask him. Jeffrey Payne, you hear they have rain near beer? I'm not following. Oh, Lukester, I like that. Got an electric blanket for Christmas, and the other ones are now called acoustic blankets. Yeah, Yornik, we're bad people. Ah, okay, Lost in the 50s. That's a good one. That would make you jolly. A slightly bent Tim West special. There you go, Doug. That's what it's called. Rainier beer? Is that what it was, Michael? Oh, Michael, you asked the question about where is Charlie Brown's Christmas playing this year, and if Big Dave is still listening, he's going to get upset. Yornik, my friend, I like you far too much to accuse you of something like that. Mushroom Leg, I think the plum cake that Matches loved was the McBaron plum cake, right? This is the Germain's plum cake mixture. It's a very different blend. The one that he liked had a lot of Kia in it, and I believe a rum topping. And it's one of the things we disagreed on. He really liked that one and didn't like this one too much, if I'm remembering correctly. And I was the opposite. I don't like the is it McBaron? I think it's McBaron. Oh, Doug, that's very kind of you, but I'm sure I can find it. Let me see if I can find it first. I hate to have you go to the trouble of postage and everything. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, does anyone think he looks like Darlene from Roseanne? Unfortunately, I never watched Roseanne, so I'm not getting the joke, but yeah, that bite is hard to get past, Phil. Ah, Sailor, taking a break for rehearsal. From rehearsal. Hello to you, sir. Good to see you. You know, Doug, I've got that memory as well. I don't remember the flask, but I remember the smell. Um, and it's interesting. I associate that with the small Santa Claus. Yeah. And you know, to be honest, if I was going to do that job, I'd have to have a flask. I mean, there's no way I could do that job. Wet and soapy. Or soupy. Uh-huh. Why don't I just keep the glasses on, huh? Soupy. Okay. Yeah, I don't honestly remember it that well. I just remembered a lot of Kia bothered me. But I'm really like hypersensitive to it, so. I bet it does hurt, Jeffrey. No, it was soupy, not soapy, Richie. I just misread it. Santa Claus is drunk. Good old Tom Waits. Tom Waits still kicking? And by that I mean, is he still active? I don't think he passed away. I think I liked the Syrian fill, although I've had more recent Syrian blends that still bothered me, and that might just be because as Syrian became rarer, they were actually cutting it with something else. But yeah, I used to enjoy a lot of Kia back in, well, I guess it was back in the mid 90s was when I smoked a lot of it. But then I switched over to cigars for a while. When I came back to pipes, I just couldn't tolerate a lot of Kia anymore. But I've had some old, like that Pelican that Ryan Doran, Beans 316, gave to me. I can smoke that, and I think that is probably Syrian. So some of those older blends I can smoke. What was it called? I'm not going to remember it now. I can see the tin, but I smoked it earlier this year. It was a lot of Kia blend that I enjoyed, and I think that was also Syrian. It was an older tin of Our Best Blend by, what's Premel's company? Anyway, that one. Three Stooges, yes. Oh, did you send me the Syrian? Okay, yeah. Oh, hasn't released an album since 2011, and he's at 75 years old, says Patrick. Wow. All right, Sailor, enjoy. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Uh, yeah, I don't know if it's sweeter for sure. I don't know about floral. I mean, I remember a lot of Kia being a lot more sort of smoky, leathery. And when I smoke it now, it's much more like tangy and sharp. Ah, yes, that hockey tape. It's good stuff, Chris. Glad you're trying it out. No, it wasn't Danish pipe nook. It was oh, what is the name of? I think I have it in here. Can I find it in here? This might be a huge mistake on my part. Yes, I do have that many tins in this drawer. I thought I had it in here, but maybe I took it upstairs. There's some stuff in here I'm just never going to smoke. There's the Pelican. Okay, we moved enough around. I don't see it. Good point, Ron. The real Santa definitely is into the more high quality stuff. Yes. Border Patrol. That's an important job, Jeffrey. Even older than Tom Waits, Michael. My goodness. Oh, Mushroom Leg. It's in his beard. You know, it's not his fault. Big Country Briar, how's it going, Cole? Christmas vacation. Oh my goodness. My drawer is like 78% full, Phil. Probably more than that. I think I could maybe fit 2 more jars in there. Yornik, I think I agree with you on that. Hey, leave my drawers out of this, Phil. Phil, you should know this, or Doug. What is the tobacco company that Premalchetta is associated with? And they make our best blend. Smokers Haven. Thank you, Richie B. Yes, Smokers Haven. Smokers Haven, our best blend, but it was an old tin. Probably at least 15 years old. That was really good, and I really enjoyed it. It's contagious, Phil. So, Couch, it'll be interesting to see who wins because we know just one of those two is going to come out alive, Ilva or the drone. My money's on Ilva. Haven was also a pretty good TV show. I don't know if I've ever seen that, Yornik. 1950s Dunhill. Nice, Jeffrey. He knows what he's doing, huh? No, it's not Primo. Oh, Richie. Ilva is an awesome dog. And she's very protective of Couch. She'll take down anything that flies. Birds, drones, small aircraft. I think you might be right about that, Phil. Although I'm not certain. It seems right. No, not looking for a call. I was just trying to. I was saying that I liked the Latakia in the Smokers Haven Our Best Blend, but it was an old tin of Our Best Blend, and I think it might have been Syrian Latakia, but I couldn't remember the name of the blend, which is why I was trying to remember Smokers Haven. But we're all good now. All right, the Smooth Piper's finished Haunted Bookshop. He's moving on to Morley's Best in his Butts Choking. I'm sorry, Peter. I've decided that I'm just going to pronounce it that way from now on. Oh, was Haven the one where they had the troubles, Yornik? I just got a vague memory. It is the dog that a bird pooped on, yes. But Couch, aren't you the guy that had the bird poop in his pipe? Or was that someone else? Oh, Lukester, that's bad. Okay, Yornik, I do remember that show. That was pretty good. I don't remember much about it, but I remember it was pretty well made. Oh, they dive bombed you. Okay, Couch. That was someone else then. Funny story. Backcountry Pipe. Good to see you, buddy. You know, Yornik, that just might do it. Jeffrey, there's a lot of information on pipe restoration on YouTube, but not to blow my own horn, but I've got a ton of restoration videos. If you look at my playlists, you'll see various pipes, and I go through how to restore the stems and salt treatments, and I've got a whole playlist on techniques. I think it's called repair and maintenance or something like that. And then lots of videos that just talk about, you know, sanding the pipe and staining it and polishing it and all kinds of stuff. So I would direct you there, and then just YouTube searches. And what's that guy Steve's website or blog? He does. There's a blog by a guy named Steve where he restores pipes. I can't think of it now. I'm having a lot of trouble remembering things tonight. Hey, old Uncle Mike. Yes, please hit the thumbs up, guys. Helps get the word out about the community. Pirate Frog 333. How you doing, Robbie? Good to see you, buddy. Reborn Pipe, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, high grade pipe repair is a pretty good one too. Although George is a little intense. I mean, he does a good job of balancing it by saying there might be other ways to do it, but he's very he does things right, and he tells you exactly how it's supposed to be done. And that's fine if you got all the tools and everything to do it that way. But he's a great resource. And Reborn Pipes is the blog I was trying to think of. Yeah. That one's been going on for years. That'll happen, Lukester. Bear Pipe's another good one, Armchair Piper. And yes, Pipe Leisure. I don't know if Pipe Leisure's videos are still up. Oh, that's terrible, Steve. How's it broken? Is it the tenon snapped, or is it something else? Half and half and half. Sounds good, Robbie. Half and half in Captain Black Gold. Nice. For replacement stems, the two folks, there's a lot of guys you could go to. The two folks I recommend are Jim Finn, who is at premiumpolishedpipes.com. and Tim West, who is jhlow.com. I know them both. They do excellent work, and I've talked to them both, and they said they'll happily take. Because I used to do it. I used to run a small company doing restoration, and they said that I can refer people to them. They'll take care of people. There's other places. The Briarworks, is that Rick's company's name? They do good work as well. I recommend Tim and Jim just because I know them, and they have pretty quick turnaround times. Broken at the very end, like the part you put in your mouth or the part you put in the pipe, Steve? Thank you, Cole. Yeah, it's a good point, Lukester. I'm sure you could work something out with Brian to put a new stem on your pipe. I believe those guys will do meerschaum stems as well. Old Uncle Mike, yeah. There's rumors going around, Pirate Frog. We talked about it earlier. Nobody knows what's happening. The mouth end. Okay, Steve. Yeah, you probably need a new stem, unfortunately. You can try to reprofile it, Steve. Yeah. Oh no, Kmart enzema mushroom leg? That's terrible. O'Baron or Von Baron? How about Mac Byron? Robbie, we don't know if it's true or dumb, to be honest. I mean, it certainly is concerning. And obviously something's going to happen because they were purchased, but nobody knows what's going to happen. But, the thing to keep in mind is even if those tobaccos go away, which would be sad, we still have more tobacco available to us today than at any other time in history, even after that happening. So, be happy about that. There you go, Yornik. They all do vulcanite stems, Jeffrey. In fact, I would say most of them prefer to do vulcanite stems. Dark twist, that's a good one, I hear. We're down to 5 minutes and I'm falling behind here. One of the problems and or nice things about Cape May Devil's Reach is that it is an 8.6%er. So it's an imperial ale. Very rare. You don't see many imperial ales. And I like that because sometimes I like the little extra kick, but I don't like a heavy stout, or God forbid, an IPA. So dark twist again, like we did last dark summer. There you go. Steve's got some dark twists going right now. Yeah, Cole, we've talked about that a couple times now, and it's one person saying they got a unnamed contact, and maybe it's true. We just don't know. We are, Jeffrey. It's not unusual. Yeah, it's definitely going to affect some of the smaller companies like Peretti, but they survived McClellan, and a lot of those guys were relying heavily on McClellan. They'll be okay. Adding dark-fired Kentucky to Yorktown. That's an interesting thing. They're lost in the 50s. Yorktown is the straight Virginia, right? That's not the Virginia Perique. That's Poplar Camp. So I added Perique to Yorktown and got very excited about it until somebody told me you just made Poplar Camp, which I did. Um, but yeah, I'm not a dark fired guy, so I certainly haven't tried it. Pogar, a Russian company, makes some acceptable tobaccos. Yeah, I'm sure that there's a ton of tobaccos out there that we here in the States don't even know about. But Chris wants to know which Carnauba wax I use. I do use Carnauba wax. Where did it come from? I don't know, Chris. They're all about the same. I think I got mine. I think I got it from Vermont Freehand. Um, but there's a chance I got it with my buffing wheels because I bought a mandrel sort of buffing system, and if that's the case, it might have been from Beal, which is a brand that makes buffing systems. But I'm pretty certain I got it from Vermont Freehand, and a block of that lasts forever. Well, I shouldn't say forever. I mean, if you're making pipes, you probably can go through it, but it takes years. It's not something you're going to use up quickly. Is that where they get the roasted burley Paragon? Well, that'll definitely change some things. Ah, they do not do that anymore, says Cypress Piper. Okay. That's a relief then. You could use beeswax, Chris, but it's not going to last as long because beeswax melts at a much lower temperature than carnauba. That's why carnauba is used. It can withstand the heat of your hand, first off, because beeswax will likely melt just from body temperature, or at least soften. But when you light the pipe, it's gonna get quite soft. So the beeswax will just get blotchy and come off a lot quicker. Oh, I'm sorry. You were asking what can you use beeswax for on pipes? Yeah, you can tighten stems with it, but be careful with that because I've actually seen tenons, not tenons, mortises break. So actually getting cracks in the mortise portion of the shank because people put beeswax on. It's really not a great thing to do. Uh, Good night, Gary. It'll get you through, but you should really get that, either get the tenon stretched or send it off for repair. Um, that's another good one, James. The beeswax on the clay pipes, and you can use. Some people use like chapstick on their stems instead of something like obsidian oil or mineral oil. I'm sure a little bit of beeswax rubbed in and then buffed in with a cloth might be the same kind of thing. Getting there. I would just chug it, but I just have to walk up the steps. So what's the cure for a tight fitting stem? Depends on how tight fitting it is, Chris. I mean, you got to be careful if you could do a few swipes of sandpaper as long as you're evenly sanding around the whole thing, but it might just be humidity changes sometimes, and you'll find if you do that, when the humidity goes in the other direction, the stem will just fall out. And that's a case where just a little bit of beeswax or candle wax, just like one swipe of the candle on the tenon might give you just enough lubrication to make it workable. And I'm more comfortable doing that than trying to add enough beeswax to make the stem fit tighter. You have a good one too, Cypress Piper. Agreed, Doug. They did lose some blends. They also brought in some new ones. They have a replacement now for Scottish Flake, which is not called Scottish Flake, but it's similar. So, you know, you know, nothing's perfect. No, George, this is a Tim West pipe. Officially known as a slightly bent Tim West, or a slightly best Tim Went, I suppose. But no. All right, Piper on the 45. You have a great weekend too. And since folks are starting to trickle out, I think I'm gonna trickle out myself. Maybe I'll just leave. Thank you, Couch. Yeah, I really love this pipe. Tim makes a fantastic pipe. But I will finish the last of this and bid you adieu. I will be back on Sunday with. I'm gonna probably talk about plum cake. So tune in on Sunday for plum cake. And beyond that, we'll be back next Friday night with our annual chat with Santa. Bring your toughest Santa questions. We need to know what really goes on at the North Pole. So with that, my friends, take care. And have a nice weekend and a fantastic week ahead. Bye now.